News.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Ashley Roberts. Liz Collin is off tonight. The Eden Prairie Police Department hopes a tragic ending for one family can help others. Officers say a 30-year-old man turned himself into police this afternoon. His 23-year-old wife was stabbed multiple times inside their home on Park Circle. She later died at Hennepin County Medical Center. Police told our Nina Moyni while it is early in the investigation, a history of domestic calls from the home serves as a powerful reminder for the entire community.
We have a list of those resources. It's at wcco.com/links.
So Nina, what happened to the couple's 2 children after the dad turned himself in?
Right, they're so young, Ashley. We're told they have a...
Just sad all around. Thanks,
It
Nina.
is.
One person is in jail after a grim discovery in southeastern Minnesota early this morning. Deputies discovered the body of a woman near Lewis in Winona County. Deputies received a tip that led them on a search for the woman. Just after midnight, deputies found her body in a wooded area east of town. The sheriff's office says they've arrested one person for second-degree homicide, but the suspect has not been charged. A 4th day of searching for a missing University of Minnesota student has turned up empty. 20-year-old David Miller was last seen leaving his dorm Tuesday night around 9. The sophomore biochemistry major didn't show up for a final exam on Wednesday. Last night, the community gathered for a prayer vigil in Miller's hometown of St. Peter. His family is stunned by his disappearance. Nothing turned up after boat, helicopter, and canine searches. Police say at this point there is no indication of foul play. Law enforcement from across the state are standing in silent vigil for 24 hours in honor of the Minnesota officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Honor guards took their post at 7 tonight at the Peace Officers Memorial in St. Paul. They will stand guard in 20-minute shifts until tomorrow night. Sunday is Law Enforcement Memorial Day in Minnesota. The DNR estimates 500,000 people were out on Minnesota lakes today as the walleye fishing season is officially underway. Once one of the most popular lakes for walleye fishing, Lake Mille Lacs saw far fewer people on the water. Business owners on Lake Mille Lacs say there's a slowdown this year after the Department of Natural Resources announced a catch and release fishing season. Despite the slowdown, anglers say the fishing is still good.
Right when we got there.
We talked to one fisherman who comes out every year at midnight. He says he caught 27 walleye in 4 hours. The DNR recently released 10 million newly hatched walleye fry as part of a research project to determine an appropriate stocking plan for the lake. Meantime, Governor Mark Dayton hosted the 69th annual Governor's Fishing Opener. This year, the event celebrates the many fishing and recreational opportunities in the McGregor area. The governor threw his line into Big Sandy Lake along with Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith. And Molly checking on whether it was a cold day out there on the lake. Donald Trump is fending off another flurry of criticism, including concerns about his treatment of women and reluctance to release his tax returns, all while some Republicans continue to put off an endorsement. Brooke Silva Braga reports from New York. Democrats vote Tuesday in Kentucky and Oregon. Still ahead for you, a life-saving gift from 1,000 miles away. How a kidney transplant saved the lives of 2 people. Plus, how a town in eastern Minnesota is celebrating its Norwegian heritage. And don't miss this story as we go finding Minnesota tomorrow night at 10.
Everybody has a...
Hmong Americans in Minnesota are celebrating today. Today is Hmong American Day, and part of the festivities included a community picnic at Minnehaha Park this afternoon. In addition to free lunch, the picnic included break dancers and other fun activities. Today's celebration honors the contributions the Hmong people have made to the United States.
Hmong American Day.
Governor Dayton declared May 14th Hmong American Day in Minnesota back in 2013. If given the chance to save a life, most of us would do what we could to help. For Jeff Marion, that meant donating a kidney for his friend Linda. That gesture would end up saving 2 lives and also mark the beginning of friendships more than 1,000 miles away. Rachel Slavic explains how an organ exchange program changed 4 lives. Jeff and Tyler say they don't have any lasting health issues after donating a kidney. Linda and Judy both tell us they feel healthy and grateful. To learn more about the Parent Exchange program, we have a link for you on our website, wcco.com. People in western Minnesota are celebrating their Norwegian heritage today. Mylin held a festival today to celebrate Norway's independence with traditional foods, ethnic crafts, and a parade. Our very own John Lortson emceed that event today. And despite the chilly weather, Maya, looks like there was a pretty good turnout out there.
Pretty nice, Ashley.
Yes, that sunshine later in the week is looking really nice.
I think we all deserve it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Molly. The Lynx open the season and get some hardware from last season and a little bit later on CCO.
Tonight on Life to the Max, Liz.
Mike Max is up next with sports. Maxie joining us now this evening, and the Lynx, they really came out to defend that title, huh?
Well, it's the beginning of the season, and I tell you what, they look as good as they.
Looking forward to that report, and he's really no stranger to the Twin Cities.
No, knew him when he was here at the early part of this century, I guess, 2001, and he built his resume by moving around and being in some pretty prestigious programs. So.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Maxie. Stay with us. Still ahead for you, how postal workers are lending a hand to stamp out hunger while also delivering mail. Here's a look at tonight's winning Powerball numbers. They are 13, 27, 47, 64, 65, Powerball 9. The Powerball is worth $50 million, by the way. Good luck to you. Homeowners across the country are helping to end hunger. Here in the Twin Cities, it's making a big impact. Stamp Out Hunger is a nationwide effort which encourages people to leave bags of non-perishable food outside their home. Mail carriers pick up the bags of food while out delivering packages. Here in the Twin Cities, it's expected to provide more than 1 million meals.
It seems to grow every year. Every year. I remember when I first started 15 years ago, it was maybe 15, 20 bags. And I'm not even halfway through my route. Just goes to show you.
Food donations were sent to Second Harvest Heartland, where it will help provide the food for people who need it. For all cash donations, Second Harvest matched what was given out today. A blood drive is a Twin Cities police officer's way of giving back after nearly losing her own life. 1 year ago, Eagan Police Sergeant Danielle Ainselman went in for a scheduled C-section to give birth to her 5th child. Her blood pressure plummeted, her heart rate increased, and she lost so much blood she needed enough to replenish her body 3 times. She pulled through, and doctors called it a miracle. Today, people lined up at Hope Lutheran Church in Hastings to donate blood. Sergeant Ainselman was one of them, with her son Parker close by. The blood drive started at 9 o'clock this morning and ran until 3 o'clock. We have information for you on how to donate blood at wcco.com/links. Still ahead for you, police are spreading the truth about heroin addiction that's hitting close to home.
Too many young lives.
The recent death of Prince shined a spotlight on the abuse of prescription painkillers. Not far from Paisley Park, many young people are battling addictions of their own.
Can we save some other family?
In less than 2 years, at least 3 young men in the Chanhassen area died from heroin overdoses. Tonight, the story of the changing face of the drug found in one of the state's wealthiest counties.
Never.
Liz Collin with that report. When Marissa gets her medallion to mark 2 years of sobriety, Sergeant Williams told her he'd like to be there to celebrate with her. You'll find resources to fight addiction at wcco.com/links. Meanwhile, in other news, Eden Prairie investigators are working this evening to uncover what led up to a woman's murder.
We do have
Police say this 30-year-old man turned himself into police and admitted to harming his wife. The 23-year-old mother of 2 was found in the couple's home on Park Circle this morning. She had been stabbed multiple times and later died at the hospital. It's still unclear if the suspect was living in the home with his family or if there was a restraining order against him. About 500,000 people were out on Minnesota lakes today for the fishing opener. That's out of 1.4 million licensed anglers in the entire state. The DNR says 162 species live in the more than 11,000 lakes across Minnesota. But today, people had their focus on the most sought-after fish, walleye, and northern pike.
People were ready for it. Our license sales were above average going into today, really about the best at this point in about 10 years. So, people are ready.
According to the DNR, Minnesota ranks 2nd in resident fishing participation, second only to Alaska, that is. Fishing supports nearly 35,000 Minnesota jobs and brings in $2.4 billion to the state's economy. Prince's Purple Rain as we know it may have been a different song had it not been for the band Journey.
So I listened and I thought, well, it sounds a little bit like Faithfully.
Still ahead for you how Jonathan Cain influenced Prince and his music. A member of the rock band Journey reveals a remarkable story about Prince. Andrea Fuji shows us why Prince thought he had a plagiarism problem with one of his most famous songs. Cain said after he gave Prince the blessing to move forward with Purple Rain, Prince gave him front row tickets to a show where he threw a tambourine out to Cain. Cain said to this day it's still one of his most prized possessions. Well, it's a popular way to get in shape on the West Coast, and now you can find it here in the Twin Cities. We explore a unique approach to yoga and what it can do for your health. Molly also has a look at your forecast coming up. Hot yoga has become a hugely popular way to get your workout and sweat on over the past few years.
And there's a new kind.
You look good taking the class.
It felt really good. You know, I think it would be a nice thing to do tomorrow morning because it's going to be downright chilly. A little hot yoga might be a good idea.
Oh, most definitely warm up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, more of the same though. That's the problem. Looking much warmer and more seasonable.
Can't wait till those 70s.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it.
Thanks, Molly. When we come back, Mike Mack sits down with the new athletic director at the University of Minnesota. What Mark Coyle brings to the Gophers, we'll ask him next.
Daunting task, but they got a lot going for him too. So
You can tell he's very passionate,
he's
but also
passionate, and I think he's the right guy for the job right now.
down to business.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Maxie. Molly, another look at weather.
Yeah, another chilly.
All right. Thanks, Molly. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good night.